Hi everyone, this is Dov Hershkovitz. I'm here with Sonjon Park, and this is 16.3 Pipeline Authoring Kickoff video. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. As always, we do have a planning issue, issue number 100 underneath the Pipeline Authoring group, where we discuss and explain what is the full scope of work for this milestone. The goals of this milestone, we are obviously going to focus mostly on the CI/CD catalog. We have some carryovers from the previous iteration. So we will continue the work on the CI/CD catalog, as we would like to move the catalog from experimental to beta. And we believe that by completing this epic that I've listed here, we can do that. Basically, in this epic, we are restructuring the components so we could collect and display the metadata automatically. As we explain here in the problem to solve, today, in order to surface the data in the catalog, we rely on the author of the component to document all the information in the README-MD. And from the README-MD, we are surfacing the data in the catalog. Since there is a lot of information that we can collect automatically, we would like to do that. So we will allow the user, we will reduce the manual work from the user. We will add the README-MD as well, but many of the information will be surfaced automatically and will reduce some of the work that the user need to do. In addition, we want to make sure that we are changing the release flow or the publish flow of a component, that only released components that are verified should be displayed in the catalog. Right now, today, every component, once I switch a toggle, will get surfaced in the catalog. We want to change that because we know that users first want to validate, they want to work a little bit on the component, and only if they feel confident enough, they want to publish and release the component so other teams can consume it. And lastly, if we look at templates versus component, today, in order to migrate from template to component, user requires a lot of customization and a lot of work. And it's a big ask from our customers. And since templates and components are almost identical, besides the way to consume them, they are pretty much the same. So there is no reason for them to look different. So this is why we are also restructuring the component. In this way, it will be easier for user to move from templates to component and then use the CI/CD catalog. And of course, we have like several issues here that we are planning to work in this milestone and in the next milestone. And once those issues will get complete and once this epic will get closed, I believe this is the time where we can move the catalog from experimental to beta. And the second thing is improve the input interpolation. I spoke about inputs interpolation in many of my recording. Inputs, as a reminder, is the preferred way to pass parameter to a template, to a component, instead of variables. Inputs were just released as beta, I think, three milestones ago in 15.11. We still have a lot of work in order to improve inputs, so we can support arrays, variables, regular expression, and more. We do believe that with inputs, we can overcome many of the challenges that users are facing today with variables. And we are taking the steps in order to improve inputs. In order to move inputs from beta, which they are today, to GA, I believe that what we need is to allow users to specify variables in an input. So this way they can define variable, they can pass a variable through inputs to a component and templates. Once we do that, and we have some safeguards in place so users won't be able to pass secrets. Once we do that, this is, I believe, where we can move inputs from beta to GA. And again, this is the focus of this milestone. And you can read more and go into specific issues in this table we have here. Another thing maybe worth mentioning is that we're also instrumenting, we're adding instrumentation so we can track the number of components that are used, and probably in the next iteration we'll instrument the number of users that are using the CI/CD catalog. That's it. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Sunjun, and she's going to speak about the scope of work for UX. Take it away.
Thanks, Dov. So I just reshared my screen, and as Dov mentioned, the main goal of this milestone is to work on the CI/CD catalog to make beta and then get more metadata for better user experience. So to resurface a couple of information that just Dov shared. So of course, design need to work on some changes in the catalog detail page. And we have to surface a couple of information relevant to inputs and its description and and also want to make sure if it is an optional or not. So this is just an example design, and we would like to just start exploration using this design, and then we'll move on to the design review session within the team, and then we'll work on more improvements starting from this design. And there are a couple of user research that we plan. The first thing is about the exploring some option for the self-managed users. So this is a confidential issue, so I'm not going to share the details too much, but this is wave 5, and I believe it's a top priority for this milestone. And there are several other issues that design needs to be improved. And I also like to highlight the experience and surfacing the jobs for the downstream pipeline in the mini graph will be done within this milestone. So that's it from me. And also that there's an active UX research effort run by Erica, and it's a verified team level workshop. And this will be, I think, finalized by this milestone as far as I know. That's it. Do you want to add anything or comments?
No, I think you summarized it well.
Okay,
and as always, if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks.